Hi guys, it's PJ, and it's Wednesday, November 23rd, 2016, so it's the day before Thanksgiving. So happy early Thanksgiving to all my channel subscribers, and my New Testament theology classmates, which will eventually be watching this video. Yes, this video is for school. So, yes, I am doing school the day before Thanksgiving, but that's okay because that's how distance learning works. So, what is this video about? This video, sorry, I lost a page that I'm going to read to you guys in a minute. But anyway, this video is, to discuss land in exile theology, which is the theology in the books of First and Second Peter in the New Testament, obviously, since it's a video going to be used in New Testament theology class. Over the last couple days, as I've been reading about the theology of First and Second Peter, I realized something. It is really, really deep and really, really profound, and can have a lot to do with Christian life today. Why? Because First and Second Peter was written to the various churches that were being set up throughout the world in the early days of the church, specifically the early churches that were set up in what is now modern day Turkey. During that time, that whole area was part of the Roman Empire, and the Roman Empire was severely persecuting the church because they thought the followers of Christ would rise up and organize themselves and revolt. And so they were being severely persecuted, and Peter wrote these two books of the Bible, which were at that time letters, to encourage them. And I read a statement from one of my books that I read in class that really summed up Christian life both then and today. Nowhere does the New Testament promise Christians an easy, prosperous, comfortable life in this world. Instead, it warns of the dangers of living in a hostile environment. And that statement was from Julius Scott Jr.'s book, New Testament Theology, Thematic Structure of the New Testament. This has been really helpful to me over the last 6 weeks as we've gone through this class. So it really showed me that as a Christian, I'm not promised an easy life as long as I live here on earth. The easy life comes after I meet my Lord and Savior in the sky one of these days. But just because life is hard, that does not mean life stops. And that applies to me both as a Christian and as a 21-year-old with a disability, because my life can't stop just because I have a walker behind me, and a wheelchair in my mom's van. That's not living. And just being honest, I've struggled with that a lot lately because my life hasn't necessarily gone the way I wanted it to over the last 5 or 6 years. I mean, my parents got divorced. I had to move the summer between my junior and senior year of high school, so I couldn't graduate with my friends. That really stunk because my dad had promised me that even though he'd still be in the military at the point of my graduation from high school, that I could stay where we were and graduate with my friends. Well, because he decided to go live his own life, that didn't happen. And I had to pay the consequences, along with my mom and sister. So, how does my life, that little snippet into my life story, apply to suffering and exile of the early church? It doesn't in a direct way, but that's what I can equate the Christians not having an easy life to, because I don't have an easy life. I've got a disability. I'm from a broken home, and even still, as a 21-year-old guy, not having your dad here to help walk you through going to college and starting your life out hurts. Luckily, God has supplied me with godly men I can lean on. And I always know that I can lean on Him. And part of the reason I know that is from a verse in 1 Peter. Probably one of my favorite verses in the entire Bible. It says, "Cast all your worries on Him because He cares for you." And that's from 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 7. That verse is a constant reminder that life isn't going to be easy, but as long as you lean on God, He'll take care of you. And that is what Peter was trying to tell the early churches. Yeah, life stinks right now. It's going to. Life isn't easy. But God has you in His hand, and He knows how it's going to turn out. And knowing that gave those early churches hope. Yeah, they were suffering. Yeah, they were hurting. Yeah, they were losing loved ones left and right thanks to the early Roman Empire. But those early churches knew where their salvation was. So their lives weren't going to be easy. But one of these days, we all will be rewarded for our suffering and our anguish that we as Christians face, whether it's living with a disability or losing a job or just plain life happening. Because a car breaking down can cause issues. You can lose your house. And that's all part of God's plan for you. Even if it does not seem like it, He can use those things. He has used things in my life Because one of the reasons I started recording videos and putting them on YouTube was to vent my frustration and hopefully help people going through the same stuff. And he's already used the videos I've posted. So, even though First Peter and Second Peter were written long before the invention of YouTube, or long before my earliest ancestor took his or her first breath, it still applies and can still tell me that, yeah, life's going to be tough. But that doesn't mean stop living, because God's got you in his hand. And like I said, I have struggled with that a lot over the last year. Because life didn't, even after I started college and thought my life was getting on the right track, plans didn't work out when I wanted them to. They're working out now. But it hasn't been an easy road for me. And that verse that I just read to you has been a constant reminder that God cares. Even if it doesn't seem like it, he does. So that is what I got from 1st and 2nd Peter, is that no matter how hard life gets, God's always there and he cares. So have a happy Thanksgiving, guys. Enjoy it with your families, and know that God is always watching, even if it doesn't seem like it. He cares. I'll talk to you guys soon.